All right. Here we go. It's Tuesday, December 2nd, 12:50. We have 10 minutes left in the market. And here's a little add-on, a little plug-in trade I placed today. I had just recently made a video about my secret weapon, the pin finder. And yesterday the pin finder pretty much nailed it. That would have been a great pin. I was off doing other things, but today I saw that the pin finder was showing 68.50 as a pin. And at that time we were down in here, so I decided just to throw on an experimental trade, or more like I decided to throw on a trade to show how these can pin. And it looks like this is going to be one of the days where it doesn't. But I was still able to grab a nice profit out of it. So this was about 2 hours ago, I think. I saw that pin being predicted here at 68.50 on the pin finder tool. So I was able to get a butterfly on for 20 cents. And that's the key with these things. I want to try to get these super cheap. 20 cents or 10 cents is better. 5 cents, that'd be great. But definitely under 10 cents. And I'm sorry, under 20 cents. And I was able to get this one at 20 cents. So we were down in here at the time. I put that on for 20 cents and we began to move up. And we have 9 minutes left and we're kind of backing off now. So that's another thing I've seen with these, at least recently. They're more apt to pin at the pin number if they're hanging around this price, like 5 cents away or so, in the last hour. So that's like 12 p.m. my time, because I'm in California. So the last hour, if it's in here, it's more likely to pin. That's just kind of my observation. And we were down in here, so I decided to take the trade off early. So I did that. I think we were right around in here. I decided to take it off. This is about like maybe 10 minutes ago. I took it off for 60 cents credit. So what is that? That's a 200% return in a couple hours. Not too shabby, eh? So that's the other thing with these pins. The pin finder will locate the pins, and the SPX seems to be attracted to those levels like magnets. And you don't have to just sit there like a deer in the headlights. You can get out anywhere along the way, because as it gets closer and closer to that pin, you'll be able to get more and more profit. I was able to get 200% out of this, which is amazing. It's not as amazing as a pin, but it looks like it was the right decision, because it doesn't look like we're going to pin. We have 7 minutes, and we're about almost 20 points away now. We were getting close. It was getting excited. Let's take a look at that pin finder now and see what's going on with it. Let me refresh this. See if it's changed. Look at that. It's changed. So now it's shifted in the last 10 minutes or so. Now it's saying the pin will be, I can't even read, 68.35. 68.35. So that's right here. So that thing will move around. Sometimes it won't. Some days it won't. Some days it will. But even I found that early on in the day, we see that pin number. The SPX will seem to be attracted to that thing like a magnet and move towards it, which can be useful in many different ways. So I'm just going to watch this come in. Again, I've already closed this trade. I closed it down like this. It's $40, but this is just a little explainer trade. Let's see, what do you call it? An example trade. I was risking $20, and the other thing, so the $20 came. I shaved off. I have several trades on every day, and one of my other trades had made a nice profit. So I just took $20 out of that trade and threw it on here like a lottery ticket. So I wouldn't really consider it risk, because it's part of profits from another trade today. Anyway, it cost me $20, which if I lose, it'll just be terrible. It'll be the end of things. $20? No, it won't make that big of a difference to me. Again, because it came out of the profits of another trade, which I still have a lot of profits in that trade. So I threw it on for 20 bucks and I took it off for 60. So I made 40 bucks, which is a 200% return. So you can just scale that up. Just pull out the old calculator and scale that up and see how big that could get. But let's just see. We have 5 minutes left. The red countdown clock started, so I'm going to turn on the music. My infamous copyright-free music. Put on some funky music, some funkadelic. Let's see what we got. God, it always blasts us out. See if this music can help the SPX move into that tent and pen. It doesn't look like it's helping. So in this case, it looks like me grabbing an early profit was the right decision. And again, like I said, recently I've been noticing that when these... Let me turn that thing down. That's way too loud. Come on. Come on, copyright-free music. Usually when these wind up pinning, they're pretty much hanging around inside the tent or just right in the general area of the pin with an hour to go. In this case, that was not the case. So with 30 minutes to go, it was down in here. So that's why I decided to just take the money and run. And it looks like that was the right decision. But we're in worst case scenario. This is 20 bucks. That's nothing. For a potential payout of 480 bucks, which does happen more than you would expect. So we have 3 minutes left. I think it's pretty safe to say that we won't pin. But it was a hell of a ride. This music doesn't seem to be helping. It seems to be having the opposite effect. Let me see if I can find something else. This is called Groove Train. This is pretty groovy. Let's see if it helps our position. Again, this isn't our position. We're already closed out. But we're just monitoring this into the close to see how it does. Or how it would have done had I not closed it already. Looks like I might pin at 68.30. We have a minute and 40 seconds. Let's take a look at that pin finder. See if it shifted again. I'm just going to hit the refresh here. So now it's at 68.30. So everything seems to be shifting down. We have a minute left. It's probably, I would guess, if I were a betting man, I'd say 68.30. Because, well, that's the obvious answer. No, let's just see what happens here. It could shoot around still. We have 54 seconds. So it looks like it's going to be 68.30. So again, this just showed this, like I had said before. So again, this just shows that this isn't always 100% accurate. But on the days when it's not accurate, it gives general direction of where the SPX will moving. So in this case, obviously we're not going to pin there where the initial pin was showing earlier in the day, but the SPX did move up there. In fact, it moved up there and hit it early on in the day, 68.50 right there, and then it tagged off it, which is another thing. These pin numbers can act as bounce off points, like resistance, magnets drawn to it, so you can take advantage of those moves as well. You don't just sit around and wait for it to settle. You can turn this music off. You can use it as movement directions. So this wound up pinning at 68.29. So let's just say 68.30. So had we just held on and done nothing, if we had our hands tied, we would have lost this pin. But I was thinking about something else. Think about this. So the payoff on this, so this butterfly cost $20. Okay, that's the most we could lose, $20. 20 bean burritos. And what's available in the profit tent if we pin is 480. Now, I don't have the data to say how many times it'll pin exactly, but I know that it's more than you would think. I'll just say it that way. It happens often. And even if it doesn't pin exactly, it can get close. It can make all this money up on these slants, which is significant profits. So what about a strategy where we, first thing in the morning, we see where that pin level is, the gex level, and we place a super cheap, as cheap as we can get butterfly, 10 cents, 20 cents, no more than 20 cents. And we just do that every day. So each day, let's say we can get it for 20 cents. We don't want to spend more than that. Let's say 20 cents or less, but let's just say 20 cents. How many times can you place that trade and go broke without it, before it pins or before it hitting that pin level? I don't know the numbers on that, but just from my guess, from experience, that's a profitable idea. And maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just start to run a test just on that. See what that level shows in the morning. Place a super cheap butterfly at that level, walk away, and then tally it all up at the end of the month. So let's say, I'm not very good at math. $20 times how many days in the month? 20. There's 20 trading days in the month. So $20 times 20. It's 400. So you would need to get about a pin. I mean, you get a little bit under here, but you would want to get the equivalent of a pin or a near pin to make that work. That would be very interesting because I get multiple pins a month. And again, I don't have hard data on this, but maybe I'll start to collect some. That could be a cool strategy just on its own. Just place the pin at the gex level or variants of that idea and see how it pans out. All right, anyway, that's it for this one. If you'd like to learn more about the way I trade strategies like this and a bunch of other cool strategies in a live money account every day. Just go to my website. I'll leave a link to my website in the description below. Head on over there, sign up for my free email newsletter. As soon as you do that, you'll get a welcome email sent back out to you. Just reply back to that welcome email and say, show me the goods or something like that. And I'll get back to you and we'll go from there. All right, that's it for this one. I'll see you tomorrow.